Your life has tales worth telling. So, what's your story? Lee Chilcote is here to help you transform your memories into a personal memoir. Lee is the executive director of Literary Cleveland, a community of writers and readers. So welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
So lots of seniors want to write their own memoirs?
Absolutely.
Really, do they? So what is it about that makes them want to?
Well, I guess, first of all, everyone has a story to tell, and folks are interested in telling their stories. So then the question becomes how to do it. And that's why we teach memoir classes, is to give folks an opportunity to learn the craft of memoir and learn the ins and outs of trying to tell your story.
Yeah, well, there's one thing about wanting to write your story down. Mm-hmm. There's another thing about actually doing that, right?
Right.
So you help
Intentions
people get
only
over
go
that.
so far.
You help people get over all of that?
We do. And writing anxiety and fear of the blank page and just not knowing where to start are real issues for any writer, whether it's the first time that you've written a story or the 500th time you've written a story. There are strategies to deal with that, and we help to teach people how to develop a writing habit.
Okay, so what are the tips that you have for seniors who might want to sit down and start writing?
I guess the first thing would be just to try to establish a writing habit. In other words, learning to write is just like going to the gym or using a muscle. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And if you don't do it, then you can get sore, from being out of practice. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing. It's just write for 20 minutes a day. It doesn't have to take up your whole day. Doesn't have to take up a long time, but just write. The second thing is to write without editing. So just write it down on the page. Don't worry about editing as you go, and come back to it at a later time. I
remember English teachers saying, don't edit in your head. Get it on paper first.
Absolutely.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Maybe using something about your life that you can, look at and write about?
Sure. So, memories can be hard to access, especially if you're writing about something that happened a long time ago. So we use writing prompts, such as photographs, writing exercises, using an object as a prompt, something from your past. And then also we teach people to have conversations with family members and other people who might have been there at the time of an event in order to jog your memory and get another person's perspective on what might have happened.
Okay. This is supposed to be the truth, right?
It is supposed to be the truth. However, one of the things about memoir is that there's no one truth. So everybody's truth might be slightly different. They may agree on the major events of what happened, but have different versions of what happened. And when you tell your story, it's your story. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be informed by talking to other people. So some memoir writers, when they complete a work, they show it to their family members or their friends or other people who might have been there at the time in order to check their memories against the truth.
Okay, so in order to fix it, not necessarily to say, look what I did.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
You teach memoir writing, and you've seen lots of people go through this course and have their memoir. So what is your reaction to when people do this?
Frankly, sometimes it's overwhelming. It's very powerful. Stories of, from everything from traumatic childhood experiences to, powerful relationships with your mom or with your dad, work experiences. Just ordinary people telling their stories can be very powerful. It can be transformative on a personal level, but also on a community level in terms of people's engagement with each other and learning from each other.
Wow, sounds like something maybe we should try. Everyone has a story. Do you want to tell yours? Then let's follow Lee's tips to get started. And for more help or to find out more about the classes offered by the Literary Cleveland, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Lee for joining us today.
Thank you.
Find out more about Literary Cleveland by visiting their website, www.litcleveland.org.